right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This is National Black Business Month. We're super excited to be here. I'm Xavier Tosin, chairman for the African American Chamber of Commerce here in San Antonio. And today we got a special guest, Mr. Charles Johnson. He's from South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency, also known as SCTRCA. Doing great work here in the city to help businesses get certified so that they can be poised for success. And so we're super excited to have him. Charles, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Would you mind introducing yourself to the people, and we'll go from there.
Fantastic. Xavier, I want to thank you. I want to thank the Chamber for this invitation, and I want to thank you for your listening audience for inviting me to speak to you guys about certification and its importance and the benefits of being certified. Again, my name is Charles Johnson. I'm with the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency. I'm the executive director, and been in the position going on 5 years now. I am a native of Atlanta, Georgia, so I've been adopted by San Antonio, and been loving every minute of being here. So hopefully the things that I will share today will help you kind of give some clarity, give you a ray of hope of some of the things that are out there as it relates to your business becoming certified. So being that this is Black Business Month, I think it's very important that we talk about some avenues and things that will hopefully help you as you structure your business or rethink about your business model as you have it right now for the future. So to kind of just dive right on into certification. So we're going to talk about how to get certified. I usually have a two-part. We'll have how to get certified, and then we also will have now that I'm certified. So we do a two-part. And so my hopes is that we'll get through this first part for those businesses that are not certified. Hopefully this information will be beneficial and helpful to you. So we're going to go ahead and let's see here how I want to do this. See if we can go ahead and start it. All right, some of the things we're going to talk about today is certification programs that we have, the types of certification, the areas that we cover for the local and federal program, the benefits of being certified, how to apply online. We are now 100% online, so we've kind of ditched the paper to kind of go green. So it'll talk about the SWIBE program, SMWVBE, and the DBE, and the ACDBE. And then we'll also talk about the NAICS codes, because that's going to be very important as you complete your application, the hub certification, marketing your business, networking, and then some of our resource partners. So with certification, we have two programs. We have the local program as well as the federal program. With the local program, you'll see where it's the small minority women, veteran-owned, and we kind of break that out into different designations. So you'll see to the right, your AABE, your ABE, your disabled, emerging small, Hispanic, Native American business enterprise. And so one of the things that San Antonio, with its unique makeup, and then people having a little bit more conscious about how the dollar is spent, they decided to break down some of the minority categories, just so that way individuals will be, and organizations will have a true spirit of the count and where those dollars are spent. So you'll see the designations broken down as such. Then we have the federal program, which is the disadvantaged business enterprise, as well as the airport concessionaire disadvantaged business enterprise. We're all governed with the federal program under what we call the Texas Unified Certification Program, TUCP. And it's 6 agencies that make up that TUCP here in Texas. Each state has a UCP. So we'll talk a little bit more about that process and how the DBE program can work for you in the areas of certification. So with the breakdown, you'll see what we call sometimes the alphabet soups, ABE, AABE, DIBE. So you'll see a lot of acronyms, but again, online they kind of define, what those acronyms stand for. Then for certification to be considered and eligible Of course, there are documentations that you need to provide us, but then the other piece is that we only do for-profit businesses, and that's governed by the SBA, as well as must be a U.S. citizen or legally permanent resident. Okay. We do have some that SBA has made some exceptions to. So, but if any in doubt, please give our agency a call and or visit our website. All participants again must submit supporting documentation, because that's kind of what we go off of, being the fact that we do not meet many of our customers, our clients, our vendors. So a lot of the material that you send in, those judgments and the calls, are basically made off of the information that you provide us. Then with the federal program, you have the DBE, the ACDBE, and then the airport concessionaires, and again, all governed under the TUCP. We follow the regulations with the federal program with the CFR, 49 CFR Part 26 and Part 23. And the Part 26 is usually a highway construction, and then Part 23 is usually your airport, if you want to do business with the airport. A question that we get asked a lot is, how much is it? How much is it? Does it cost us anything? Does it cost? And so if you're inside the jurisdiction and you have a total of 14 counties that are listed, if you're within those 14 counties, your certification is free. There's no charge. If you should go outside of the 14 counties, then there's a $250 fee, application fee for new apps. And then for renewals, which is every 2 years, and we'll talk a little bit about the renewal, it's $100. So that's kind of how we've structured it. So if you're within those counties that are listed on the screen, then there's no cost to you. But if you should be outside of those counties, then it's a $250 fee with a $100 renewal fee. And that's for the local program. For the federal program, there's no charge. There's nothing, no fee. We're governed under the federal program, so the federal government does not give us permission to charge anything. But we do have to remain within the counties listed, the 12 counties that are listed, that we have to stay and doing your certification. So if you're outside of any of these counties, then another one of our TUCP members will have to pick yours up. So you'll see the map is color coordinated, and green, which is your city of Austin, the blue, city of Houston, Corpus, and then you'll see us in white, and those are the counties, and then the rest of the map is text dot. So if you're in any of those areas, they would have to do your DBE and ACDBE certification. What are the benefits of being certified? A lot of times people hear about certification and what's that, and what's it all about? And I'll kind of run through this, but then I'll share some other personal testimonies with you. It's free with no cost, as I mentioned earlier, as long as you're within the listed counties. The certification is accepted by our member entities, and we'll have a list of those through the presentation, then our corporate sponsors. Now, you can go on our website at www.sctrca.org, and you can see a list of our member entities as well as our corporate sponsors. And they accept our certification. And then also it's a competitive edge over your competitors. So what does that mean? A lot of these contracts and solicitations, they have goals attached to them. And with those goals attached, they're looking for small minority women, veteran-owned businesses or DBE, ACDBE firms. And if your firm is certified, then they're coming looking for you first, outside of those of your competitors that may not be certified. So that's what I mean when I say competitive edge. Also, it increases your cash flow. It doesn't stop you from doing what you've currently been doing for the number of years that you've been in business. It's just another cash flow stream. And I'm sure no one is going to argue with having different levels of cash flow. Also, database visibility. Once you become certified, you're captured in our database. And we send out our information to vendors that or prime contractors that are looking for vendors to do certain types of work. So you have database visibility. And then another revenue stream. Again, revenue stream that you probably never thought about receiving. Becoming certified will allow that to happen. And then receive bid opportunities from various sources. So this is some kind of marketing that maybe you don't even have to do, especially if you're a small company. A lot of some of these opportunities will come to you versus you doing the actual legwork. back to some of the benefits. I'll use a personal testimony as I share with Xavier. I opened my first company back in early 90s, I think 91, 92, and biology pre-med major. And I had an environmental lab where we did testing for contaminated water and soil analysis. And so I received my very first contract being certified as an MBE company in the city of Austin. It was me and another gentleman, and we did testing for contaminated water and soil analysis. So my first contract that I received was from Optech out of Houston, and my first check was for $96,000. I was only 27 at that time. Seeing $96,000 on a paycheck, on a stub that's saying pay order to, was a beautiful thing. So I can tell you firsthand, certification works. You have to, of course, get out and you have to, make yourself visible, but it definitely works. And then I'll share another story later on through the presentation. How do we retrieve our application? Back in the day when we were, a paper generating, you could come in our office, you could go to a trade show or event, and we'll have, hard copies. Well, now we'll just go online, and you'll see the 2 links, and just go online and be able to click and then basically start the process. Now, what we do have online is the hard copies are there in PDF that you can flip through the pages just so that you can read the literature, get some definitions, that sort of thing before you actually get started on the application. So I recommend if you go to our website, be able to look at the different programs and just kind of read through so you'll know what it entails and what you're up against. So if you have any questions before you start, you can feel free to give our office a call. Applying online, again, there's a link. You basically click on and the tab and for certification, SMWBE or DBE. And then if you don't have an account, you create an account. And basically after that, you would start applying. What can you do online? So as I said, we're 100% online. You have the reciprocal certification for the also new applications for out of jurisdiction. Then the renewals for out of jurisdiction, then the new applications if you're local, and the renewals, DBE, ACDBE certification, and then the affidavit that accompanies the DBE, ACDBE certification. You can add your NAICS codes for expansion. If you started with one NAICS code, as you continue to grow your business, you can come back in and add some more NAICS codes, and we'll talk about that a little bit, and then update any changes as it relates to your business. If you moved or your address, you changed your email, phone number, you can go in and make those updates. NAICS codes. It's the North American Industry Classification System. We use the NAICS code. Some people use the NIGP codes, which is a commodity code, but in our system, we ask that you use the NAICS code, and you'll see a link that's attached. And so if you're in doubt, go on that link and it'll kind of tell you, what your business is and what you do and the cap and the money or employee size, all that's there. And it's a 6-digit number, and that information needs to be plugged into your application. We ask that with most businesses that you would select the NAICS codes that you receive at least 80% of your dollars and your revenue from. It doesn't limit it to, but we'd like you to stay kind of laser focused. We know as an entrepreneur, we do so much. And but we think that, if you're a lawn care, stay lawn care. Don't go lawn care to catering, to child care. So we just want to get wherever you feel that you receive 80% of your dollars, please list those NAICS codes. So that way it increases your chances to really land one of those bid opportunities, those RFPs that are out there. So what I'm going to show you in the next few slides is really just kind of what it looks like once you click on the tab and what it looks like when you go to either go back into the system, you already have a login account, or you have to create an account. The next, once you get in, our online application is more based in as a decision tree. And so the decision tree is will come as such. You'll see where it's small minority women, veteran-owned, which is the local program, and then the DBE disadvantaged ACDBE link. So be sure to read the links, because if you don't, it can cause your business to be delayed, your certification process being delayed because you submitted the wrong application. So we want to make sure you submit the right application. And then anytime you're in doubt, always give our office a call and or send an email, and that way we'll reach out and provide you the assistance. So again, read the material, read the links, and as you can see, as you continue to click on the links, it expands. And so just make sure that you read those links to ensure that you're on the right path. Then once you go, you get into the meats of adding your email address, your address, and the type of structure of your business as an LLC, sole proprietor, incorporation. So that information will start to be inputted into your application. Then you'll get to a screen where it has a lot of red and a little checkbox. This little red checkbox here is an indicator that you need to, once you click that, you have 90 days. The system is going to give you 90 days to complete the application. And if it, for whatever reason, if you can't, after you need more time after the 90 days, you're just busy as a small business, let us know. We can extend that time for you. But if you do not get the time extended, after the 90 days, it will delete all of your information. So whatever you started, it will delete it. So to avoid that, the system sends you reminders to let you know that you still have your application pending. And so be sure to check your email as well as your spam, because you're not sure where it may go. But you have 90 days to complete once you select and continue through the process. So again, you'll see mandatory documents. So as you look to upload your documents, these are items that's going to be listed on your hard drive or your own computer. And the site is secure, so you don't have to worry about your information being, compromised or in any shape, form, or fashion. You want to look at your mandatory documents, and in your mandatory documents, if things do not apply to you as you look down through the requested documents, just write a narrative, a small narrative, and I like to use, for instance, a franchise agreement. Many companies may not have a franchise agreement. So that will be one you would just say, my company is not a franchise. We don't have a franchise agreement and that's it. And just save it into your on your hard drive. Every slot, every question has to have something uploaded. So please do that, because if you do not upload in those sections, even if they are not applicable to you, the system will not allow you to advance. Then you'll get to required documents. Required documents is a little simpler. You can click the NA button that's listed and just click those buttons, and those items that are not applicable to you. And again, you have to have something in every one in order for the system to advance. So then you'll get to a section such as this. You'll see all your inputs and your different information, your certification number, all what you're applying for, and then you'll see the different sections. You'll see the red arrows. Those red arrows will kind of tell you what's incomplete. And when those red arrows turn to green check marks, that lets you know that you've completed those sections entirely. If you still see the red check mark, the red arrow, that means there's still something missing. Again, if you're in doubt and you have troubles, feel free to give our office a call, and we'll be sure to help and assist, because we know this is new for a lot of people, because we've been such a paper generator for over 20 years. So, but we're here to help. Then you'll see the green toolbar go across. It kind of tells you, just as an indicator, as you go through the application, of what's completed. And then once you get to the 100% sign and submit, then we'll see the application on our side. So just know that you got to complete each section. Another big question that we're asked a lot is, how long does the process take? So for the local program, you're looking at about 45 days, somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks now, just because things are really busy. We actually had it down to 2 to 4 weeks at one time, but things have kind of picked up. So you're looking at about 4 to 6 weeks for the local. Then we also, with the local, there are random site visits. And when I say site visits, meaning that someone will come out, and before COVID, it will be in person, but now we have virtual, just for the safety of our staff as well as for you. So we can do those virtually by virtual platforms that we have. And all of this will be basically spoken to you before we come out, to know what kind of platform you have that we can connect. So, but the local program, they're random site visits, and you're looking at between 45 minutes to 2 hours. This depends. And then for the federal program, you're looking at 30 to 90 days before we can complete your application. And for the federal, it is a mandatory site visit, so that you can't get out of. And but we will schedule that time with you, so you'll know we're coming. You'll know we're doing a Zoom or Teams or GoToMeeting. Again, it can take from 45 minutes to 2 hours. So the other thing I want to add to this is that you guys may have been hearing about the infrastructure bill. That's it just as over the weekend passed the Senate. So what we're looking at is this infrastructure bill is going to pass. It just depends on the dollar amount. I think they're saying 1 trillion right now, but nonetheless, in that is small minority women-owned participation. So what I'm trying to convey to a lot of vendors that have kind of been on the fence about certification, please, if you can get both, do both, but definitely for the federal, because these are federal dollars that are going to be issued to states. And for instance, TxDOT for road improvements and that sort of thing. That's one of the things they're going to be looking for is that certification certificate that you're certified. So here's the time to get yourselves in position. So when these dollars are let and these contracts are let, that you're in position to take advantage of these dollars that are going to come out. How often do you have to renew? For the local program, you're looking at every 2 years. And so we're debating if we should go even higher than that. But right now it stands at every 2 years. And then for the DBE, ACDBE federal program, it'll be every year. You'll receive a notification from our office, I think from 60 to 30 days and even to down to 15 days before it's due. So we give you a little time, and then after maybe it expires, you went out of the country for whatever reason, we actually will do a little bit of a grace period of 15 days. So just to make sure that you have the opportunity to get it in. Now, if anything should change in your business structure and your model, please notify our office. Especially, between, at least 30 days out, if something has changed, email address you've moved. And then especially in this red, we say, especially your email address, because most of all your information is going to come to you via email. It's very seldom that you get a call. So make sure your email is up to date. If your email is wrong in our system, as we move your information around and distribute it to others that may be seeking to do business with you, and the email is not right, you're going to say, Charles, no one's contacted me, no one's emailed me. I used to get the emails, but now I don't. And I'm going to say that you change your email address. So make sure that's up to date. After you get certified, now this is just a brief session. I do a little bit more extensive presentation on this, but after you get certified, we ask that you register with our member entities, and you'll see a few listed via the City of San Antonio, Bexar County, the Housing Authority, and then also we have our corporate sponsors. So, but we send out a kind of a 1-pager, 2-pager with all of these the listed vendors that are on there and corporate sponsors, and those will be the ones that you'll just have a little homework to get certified into their database, so that they'll see you, which then they will send you direct RFPs and solicitations as it relates to your NAICS code that you selected. To attend pre-bid meetings. Pre-bid meetings are very, 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 very important. If you don't hear anything else, please attend these pre-bid meetings. They're even doing them now virtual because we've had to learn how to navigate. But I actually, a month ago, I did 2 in person. So some of these are in person. And I'll share a story. I was with my company in Austin, and I went to a pre-bid, and I was sitting next to a lady, and she had my business card on her knee. So after the presentation was over and they talked about the project, I looked at her and I said, hey, I see this card. I said, are you looking for that person? And she says, yes. Do you know who he is? And I said, well, yes, I do. I said, I'm that guy. And she's like, oh my God, I didn't believe, I was hoping that I would have an opportunity to meet you. And to make a long story short, that particular pre-bid that I attended was an $85,000 contract that I ended up having with her. And that was just because I was there at the pre-bid. Not to say if I wasn't there, it wouldn't have happened, but it made it a lot better because she was able to vet me right there and ask whatever questions about my company and the work and the services that I provided. And so it's important to attend those pre-bids because that's where you're going to meet all the players. Then if you have do mail outs, market your certification, let people know that you are certified. Put that on your business cards, your letterhead, that sort of thing. But make sure ultimately keep your certification up to date because you'll be surprised. I have so many that let their certification lapse, and then I get these emergency calls and Charles, my certification is lapsed and somebody wants to do business with me. I need my certification. And then you're in line now. And so just be sure to keep your certifications up to date. Even though you may not be getting any work right now today, doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you tomorrow. Networking opportunities, get out. People got to know who you are. Here's a list of things from the certification seminar, workshops, to chamber, trade shows. PTAC used to have a breakfast, but right now we're virtual. Get out, let people know who you are. If people don't know who you are, then it makes it a harder hill to climb for work. People like to attach themselves to people that they have something in common with. So be sure to get out and network. List of remember entities to get registered with that we spoke of. But again, you go to our website and that information is there. For the hub used to be another way where we did an extraction every month. But now the agency is now taking over hub. We will be able to process all hub. If you go through our agency to get certified locally, then we will be able to do your hub certification at the same time. So this is kind of still helping you to not have to go to another institution to get certified for your hub. And I'll tell you this, the state has a lot of work. I had a contract with the state weighing lottery balls. I was fortunate to have that contract for 3 years, weighing all the lottery balls from pick 3 to lotto, you name it. And it was a very lucrative contract. So please look at hub certification because there's a lot of state work. And then for its eligibility, you have to be a minority or woman, have an EIN number, and you have to be in the state of Texas. You have to live here. And again, U.S. citizen, permanent residence, and then a valid email address. Some of the frequently asked questions: why do I need the support and documentation? We need the documents because that's kind of the proof that you are who you are as we pour your company through our filter. That you check out and you're who you say you are. Does your agency process hub zone or 8A? We do not. We just do hub, which is a state. Hub zone is more of a federal as well as 8A. So you can go to SBA for that information. And then I just talked about the hub and it's streamlined. If you go through our program locally, we can do your hub certification and provide you approval letter as well as a certificate. Whereas before, just as of July 1st, we wasn't able to do that. Some of our resource partners, PTAC, we use them. We've been with them and working with them for years. They used to help us with our hard copy applications. Now they help with online process. SCORE, the Maestro Entrepreneur Center, Lift Fund. HCA is the Hispanic Contractors Association, as well as some of our local chambers. So those are our resource partners. And with that said, if you have any questions, I am open to take any questions that may be out there. And here's my contact information for those viewing and watching.
All right.
Over to Xavier.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, sir. That was so informative. I'll tell you, I was probably all of those people you talked about in regards to, just going through the process. I will tell you that having that electronic process is so much easier. It's going to help onboard so many different businesses as well. And I love the reminder system, too. But I think what you guys are doing are great. I think this is really going to position a lot of businesses especially within the African American community, to really onboard their success, and they just have to get over that hump. So in the beginning, you talked about kind of your first story, right? Getting involved and kind of presenting or getting your certification and getting that first deal. What were some of the mental roadblocks you had to get through in that process, if you don't mind sharing?
Sure. Good question. I think for me, I was a biology pre-med major, so I really had no idea about business and entrepreneurship. So I think for me was it kind of landed in my lap, that whole opportunity. And I think I wanted to chart more of a destination for myself than, working for someone. And so I ended up taking 3 classes at ACC, Intro to Business, Marketing, and Econ. And so that's kind of how I wanted to learn the language, because what a lot of businesses don't do, they don't know the language. So as you go and you move around and you talk to individuals, you need to know the language. One of the things that I see on this side is people are very well astute and know their craft, but operating a business is a whole nother piece that I think some work needs to be. You have people that know how to lay carpet, know how to cut grass, know how to, cook food, but to turn that into a monetary, full-blown business, that's where some of the challenges come. So for me, I had some solid partners that kind of mentored me, that kind of helped me along the way. So if you do have any mentors, and if you don't, I'm a mentor to several people in this city, and have walked them through this whole process of how to do business and to stay in business. And that's a real key piece, of staying in business. We know COVID-19, it did a number on a lot of our businesses. I think what they said, 41% of them are not going to return. So somewhere we need to backfill that. Another thing that I do, and I suggest is with businesses, is to feed your business. For those who attend church and go to church and need that spiritualness or just music, whatever for inner peace, you got to feed the business. And so I used to attend like Black Enterprise conferences where I was always around other like-minded individuals, because believe me, Xavier, everybody's not excited about you and your business.
Yeah.
Trust me, they're just not.
Oh, yeah.
You are. A lot of people are not. And so you need to be around those that are like-minded. And I always tell people, show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
That's very true. It's very true that you say that. Like you said, you could be talented. You can know how to lay bricks, wash cars, etc. But turning that into an actual business is where you're offering customer support. You're making sure that you're receiving feedback to enhance your business. That's a totally different ball game. And also, if you are a entrepreneur or you're climbing a corporate ladder and you're considering, kind of crossing over to business, it takes a totally different mentality as well. I kind of went through that, coming away from the Air Force to stepping into business. It's just a totally different ball game. The people you interact with, the expectations, everything was different. And I was running the chart. I was winning awards and things over here. But when we talked about business, I kind of still was with that trajectory, but it was a lot more on my mental load. So thank you for sharing that. Lawana, LJ, she said, yes, the electronic system at SCTRCA certification is much more convenient. It makes getting certified and staying certified less taxing. Like I said, I have to agree with that. I'll tell you one thing we're doing, Charles, right now. We got some micro grants that we want to give out to our members and people within the community. One of the areas that's a qualifying criteria is for businesses to be certified. So if you start getting hit up a whole lot over there, it's because we're doing a big push. But we got some money that we want to give out, but we want a part of that to be that businesses get qualified, at least as an AABE, so that they can get those opportunities. Let's see if we have any other questions.
And I'll be sure to, if you do need to do any cross references, let me know personally, and then that way we can look them up to verify if they're truly certified with us.
That's perfect. Absolutely. Let me ask you, from a chamber standpoint, what can we do as the African American Chamber to help support or tag team alongside SCTRCA to help, I guess, businesses, especially African-American businesses, get poised in position? What can we do with that? How can we support you all to support businesses?
Sure. And great question. I think the first is what we're doing right now. We're educating. And I think that's a big piece in our community is education. A lot of times I tell people, don't necessarily try to go make the sale right away, educate, because once I educate you, then everything kind of falls in line. And so education is first, and then, let's deal with the crux of what you hear from your members. One of the things we see too is the taxes, keeping the books. And so those taxes have to be right, because what they're doing is they're putting out these solicitations and they're saying, we want small minority, we want small women. They're not just saying minority and women, they're putting in a small piece in there. Well, why are they doing that, Xavier? Because it means that your taxes have to be up to date, and that shows that you're not making, a lot of money. And a lot of times that's what we see, that the taxes are not done. So we can work in the tangent and trying to make sure that, businesses have the resources to ensure that they keep their taxes up to date. So that way they're not shut out of those bid solicitations that are asking for the SBE category designation.
I like that. So I'll tell you one part that we're trying to do here is we're just trying to make sure that, like I said, businesses are positioned to where when we get ready to send businesses that we've helped kind of cultivate or help build and help, give them the foundation that they need. And we send them over to you guys, they get certified, and we send them out to procurement land. If there's some hard no's that come back, now we can truly advocate, because you're handling your business as a business owner. And, how you do one thing is really how you do everything. So when you talk about taxes and taking care of your personal finances, that's how you're going to take care of your business finances as well. So we want to kind of marry those two worlds together. So great points. And thank you so much for that. I'll scan the room one more time for any questions real quick from the audience. And just so you know, Charles, we're gonna re-air this thing back out. It'll go back out in our newsletter so folks can continually get educated. That's one great thing about this virtual land, is you can keep putting things back out. So super happy about that. All right, there's no more questions out there in there. Did you have any last minute comments or anything like that you wanted to share?
Well, I'll close by saying I appreciate and I thank the Chamber, African American Chamber, for the invitation and allowing our agency to share, what we do and the services that we offer. And we're very well connected. So I'm more than just an executive director. I can, I do, as I stated to you, I have a consulting company as well. So if there are any of your members that need some, some lightweight coaching, I'll be willing to sit with them and talk with them, because sometimes these personal experiences and testimonies are truly helpful. So I leave you that to say that I'm here at your service, sir, if you should need me.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure sitting down with you. Thank you so much for sharing all this great knowledge with us. We'll run this back on our YouTube, and it'll be on our Facebook page. If you're watching this right now, please share this out on your page as well, so that more people can become educated, more people can be positioned for success. Again, we are with Mr. Charles Johnson, Executive Director of the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency, and they're right here in San Antonio. So thank you again, sir. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you. Same to you.
Take care. All right, guys. So again, this is National Black Business Month. We are celebrating all month long. We have some micro grants available for businesses that are part of the chamber, but also within that qualification process, we want to make sure that you are certified. And so this is not the only month that we're going to run and provide micro grants. We're going to continue to go until the money runs out or until we get refunded. But for this month, we want businesses to be certified as African-American business enterprises. And so the gentleman that we just spoke to, Mr. Charles Johnson, he is the executive director for SCTRCA, where you will go and get your business certified. And that's only because we want to make sure that you're positioned for success. And then, like Charles said, show me your friends and I'll show you your future, which is so true. If we have members in our chamber who are poised for success, guess what? Everybody that comes on board will then become poised for success. And like our slogan says, we're stronger together. And I mean that, we mean that as a board. And so we're happy to have you. Again, membership is only $75 for the entire year businesses that have between 1 and 5 employees. You can't beat that. We're making it super simple and easy for you to join the chamber, get intertwined, get networked, start building together, start sharing information. Also, on our board, we have subcommittees that need to be filled. We have membership committee, we have procurement committee, strategic planning, we have fundraising and events. We have our business programs, business development programs that need potential individuals that can help share, bring their talents, education, and resources to the table. And so again, we can't do it by ourselves, but we're happy to be here and support you along the way. Again, we're stronger together. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.